Over the last days, a very pointed question has been asked. That question is, are you still doing good? Or in other words, are you still playing God? That puts us on the horns of a dilemma, because we know there are those great souls, past and present, who without faith or belief or creed or calling do good. So let's try a little Zen. There was a young monk who went to the master and said to him, "Master, tell me, what is the nature of doing good?" And the master responded, "Doing good is to wear a ball and chain around your leg." So the monk said, "Well, what is the nature of evil?" And the master said, "Meditating and doing zazen." So the young seeker said, "Master, I don't understand what you're saying." And the master said, "Those who do good do not do evil. Those who are evil do not do good." But still the student looked at the master with askance. "What do you mean?" he said. And the master replied, "Doing and not doing are the same. They are both the Dharma." And then there was another young monk who asked his master, his Zen master, "Master, what is the difference between mind and Buddha nature?" And the master replied, "There is only a difference if you are deluded. When you are enlightened, there is no difference." And the student said, "But Master, how can you say that when the sutras tell us that mind is impermanent and that Buddha nature is permanent and unchanging?" So the master replied, "Water is water. When it becomes solid, we call it ice, and when it is fluid, it is water. It is the same with mind and Buddha nature. When the Dharma is solid, it is called mind. When it is fluid, it is called Buddha nature. It remains the Dharma." So in our inquiry and exploration into what is the nature of doing good, how would these anecdotes, these Zen anecdotes, contribute to this inquiry? Perhaps with the question that we might ask ourselves, what then is this Dharma? So leading on from the question, are you still a do-gooder? Can be added the question, what for you is the Dharma? What is this that in Buddhist terms is called the Dharma? Solid and fluid, permanent and impermanent. The Dharma.
Something that flows from within you, and there's no boundaries or restrictions. No way you could tell it's like this or like that, because it all keeps changing.
And if we translate that, give it another name, what would we call it? What is it that is constantly in movement? Life.
Presence.
Would it be how we relate to life? So the solidity is, the solidity of mind, of, how your mind relates to life. And the flow is when you've got that Buddha nature, there's no solidity of mind. So the mind, the way you relate to life is a continuous flow rather than a solid, like a perspective that is held that then remains solid.
Absolutely. As we well know, the nature of mind is constantly looking for something to grip hold of, something solid that it can rest on, something that it can believe or have proof of, isn't it?
It's like life, we're living it, we can control it and manipulate and plan it, or we can just let it be and let it flow through us, and it's the same thing. How we're living it.
Makes it
I'm just
solid
letting
or
go
flow.
at the moment, and it just feels amazing
Absolutely.
to let go rather than to go, oh, should I do that and do this? Or just let it go, and it's just falling into place.
Yes.
Whatever that place is, not good or bad, but it feels better.
So then, would it impact on our inquiry if we made the equation that Dharma equals life?
Law of nature. Law of nature.
Nature, yes.
Nature calls.
Uh-huh. But the question remains, are we still playing God? Are we still doing good? And does this question imply that it's not good to do good?
I feel like at the moment, just from experience, I'm just moving out of the way. Sort of trying to do good, just moving out of the way of things, and they're just seeing nice things happen anyway.
And they do.
Getting out of the way.
So again,
Opening
it
it up.
brings the circle around back to our little Zen anecdote, doesn't it? Doing and not doing are still the Dharma. Doing and not doing are still life, if we bring it back to that.
Well, I suppose if we're doing good, it comes from an ego place and a judgment of what is
Absolutely.
what is good or evil, whereas it's just the same.
Immediately brings us back to a place of separation, judging between good and evil, or good and bad, isn't it?